Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the arrival of British in India. The British arrived in India in 1607. Well, the Dutch had already arrived, the Portuguese had already arrived, the French had already arrived. And those were the days of the Mughal Empire, and greatest of the all-time emperor, Maharaj Akbar the Great was ruling India those days. Emperor Babur had died, Emperor Humayun had died, and now India was being ruled by Emperor Akbar the Great. So the very purpose of the British was to have trade. In fact, as we talk about the 17th century or the early 17th century, East was quite strong by those days. And these Western countries, Western units were not only very small but also very weak compared to the Eastern part. We can have an example that all the states of Europe together, all the countries of Europe together, combined in a single force, could not face a single eastern state in those days. What to say of waging a war against powerful Mughals? Their military was very strong, their state was very strong, and it was out of a thought for the British to colonize India, to wage a war against India. And their purpose was trade, and they immediately wanted a permit of free trade in India, which was rejected by Emperor Akbar, rejected by Jahangir, who succeeded him, rejected by Shah Jahan, who succeeded Jahangir, and rejected by Aurangzeb Alamgir, who rejected Shah Jahan, who inherited Shah Jahan. And then there was a battle of succession among the brothers. He killed his brothers and imprisoned his father, Shah Jahan, and took the throne of India, did not allow the British a free trade permit. So the very purpose of arrival for the French, for the Dutch, for the Portuguese, for the British was to have trade. They couldn't colonize, and they didn't dare wish to colonize either. It only happened by the stroke of luck for the British that they found their way to invade India. Let's take it this way. The British arrived in India in 1607, and by a time of 150 years, it's a very, very long time, by a time of 150 years, from 1607 to 1757, they did not have any designs of militancy, any plans of militancy. And the first military expedition which was thrust upon them was in 1757, the Battle of Plassey, which the British never desired. It was in fact forced upon them by Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla, and the British managed it and managed it successfully and they got the victory. And this is where there started a way of military expedition in India. In 1757 there was Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar only few years thereafter, and it opened a great way for the British to have their colony in India.